Here we go. Our second open circle, our last open circle for 2024. Isn't it incredible how quickly time is moving now? We're heading towards the Festival of Lights in what feels like quantum leaps. I feel time is speeding up. I don't know who else here feels that a lot is happening, right? So for this circle, this time we get to spend together, we're creating a sacred space that unites all of us and connects us heart from heart. So I would love us all to just take 3 connective breaths to just drop into that space of our hearts, to become fully present in the here and now, to notice the ground beneath us, that safe bubble that we're creating. And let's now set an intention together, shall we? So with your feet firmly planted on the ground, or at least your hip bones firmly grounded on the surface beneath you, imagine now just closing your eyes. You could literally close your eyes if you're not driving a car or operating machinery. And then you could roll your eyes up as if you're looking through the crown of your head. You could keep your eyes rolled up there, and then you could say silently or out loud, my intention is to completely, immediately, and permanently align with the goddess within who takes what she needs and is happy, healthy, and well in every way. And then let's spend 1 minute just holding that intention, imagining that we're all holding hands, creating this beautiful golden circle of light. Let's take 3 more breaths. Noticing that connection, that sisterhood, that safety, that potential. And then gently return back into the here and now. And take a look at the screen in front of you and notice how many beautiful faces you see here. And notice that maybe little grateful feeling inside of you that you made time today to connect in sisterhood, to connect with the intention to support each other, to learn something today, to maybe do something different, even if it's a micro tweak from today onwards, something that's going to amplify your joy in life, something that's going to align you even more with your highest self, because that's what we're all about. And these open circles, like this circle today, is so that all those goddesses who are maybe not part of our membership can also join in and take these quantum leaps of personal development together. So thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for making time for yourself today to do this. So I'm going to put myself on the spotlight, and Nicole, you're going to be in the background, ready to come on in the spotlight when I call you. So the topic of this month is the goddess takes what she needs. And when I ponder on those words, the first word that jumps out for me is needs. And I think it's very important to just create a foundation so that what we're talking about all makes sense. So if we just take the word needs, what comes to mind for me is the fact that every single human being on this planet is just trying to get their needs met in the way that they think is best. Think on that. Everyone is just trying to get their needs met. And those basic human needs are basic. Every single human has them. Why is this important? Well, I feel so often in personal relationships, in communication with other human beings, conflict and disconnection happens when we are not taking into account that this other person who's maybe being rather awkward or unpleasant to me right now actually is only trying to get their needs met. And if only I knew which need they need to get met, then I could maybe even help. But usually when we are dealing with maybe an unpleasant or toxic or whatever label you want to give this person, we go into the primary reactions of human beings. And what is that? The moment we feel threatened, maybe because someone else is of a different opinion, we will most likely deny, defend, and deflect. That those three reactions are the normal human reaction to any kind of threat, any kind of suggestion for change. Because remember, change is the only constant. There's always change happening on this planet. Nature, look at it, everything is always changing. That's the only constant. But we have a brain that, if we very simply divide it into conscious and subconscious, in those two parts has a subconscious that is huge and does not like change. And that means that any kind of change is going to trigger a feeling of threat, at least to our subconscious mind. And that means, when we get it back to personal relationships, that anytime someone maybe makes a suggestion that we might want to tweak something, change something about how we do something or say something or are something, we will feel threatened. And then I think if we're honest enough, we will start noticing, and this is what we're doing here, we're becoming more and more mindful of these habits, of these programs that we all are running, to then be able to notice, when am I doing that? When am I denying, defending, and deflecting? That's why in one of our previous months, we had a goddess does not explain herself. So often as women, we feel we have to explain and justify our behaviors, our actions, our choices that we make. But no, we don't have to. And in this month, we're taking it further because we want to go deeper. We realize we don't need to explain ourselves, but does that necessarily mean that we can express our needs, that we're clear on our needs even? So knowing that we're all humans trying to get our needs met helps us build what with another person? Rapport, compassion, connection. Because if I can listen to someone with the intention to understand what need this person needs to get met, I can come from a place of power and love and can check, can I meet that need? Or do I have to be honest and say, I'm not the right person here. I can't meet that need for you, but maybe I can show you a way how you can meet that need yourself. Make sense? So I think this helps to create more peace and more connection in our personal relationships. It's just acknowledging that fact. Now, is it true that some people get their needs met in a very, brutal way? Yes, but usually because that's how they learned to do it. Because you see, when we are born on this planet, we're in this beautiful little tiny body and we're totally dependent on the caregivers, otherwise we die. We already learn there how to get our needs met, how to communicate, hey, something's wrong, we scream, right? But somewhere along the way, we learn how to speak, we learn how to behave in social environments. And then sometimes what happens is that we kind of lose touch with those needs and we're not aware that we all have the need for shelter. We all have the need for safety. We all have the need for that feeling of personal choice. We all have the need of connection. We all have a need for play. We all have a need for rest and recreation. So I think what I'd like to do in this session is talk about needs a little, and for you to really feel into yourself about what basic human need is not being met right now. And to find out what need is not being met, we all have something very beautiful, and that is our emotions. Because here's the thing, the moment we have unpleasant feelings, it means that some need is not being met. So I'll give you an example. When my need for rest and recreation is not met, I feel disconnected, frazzled, and a little anxious. Now, if I can communicate that to significant people in my life, they know, oh, so when I notice that Joy's kind of being anxious and frazzled, whatever, her need for rest and recreation is not being met, which means I could suggest to Joy, hey, why don't you just take a quick breath break? Why don't you just go walk in the garden? Why don't you have a little nap? Hmm? And then Joy would be able to fulfill that need herself, get back into her good energy, and be able to operate from a fully functional state again and feel what? Feel positive emotions. Because when my need for rest and recreation is met, I feel joyful, I feel expansive, I feel curious. So ask yourself that question. What need in your life currently is not being met? I gave you a couple of pointers. Is it rest or recreation? Is it maybe your need for connection? Is it your need for love? Is it your need for safety? Is it your need for freedom? Is it your need? Well, what need is not being met? So take a pen and paper and just start, throughout this hour that we spend together, just put down some words when something comes to mind. And then notice, how do you feel when this need is not met? Because you see, those feelings that we have are very specific to us. Because you see, someone else in this group here might, of course, also have that need for rest and recreation. And when that need for rest and recreation is not met, maybe they feel angry. Maybe they feel guilty. Maybe, I don't know. And you see that unique specificness of those feelings, that's what's going to help you solve this all, so that not only can you tune into your needs better, take care of your needs better, but you can also better communicate them to your people in your life, which creates a beautiful culture of what I call compassionate communication. So compassionate communication was originally developed by Marshall Rosenberg. And you'll find a lot of information on that if you just tap it into your favorite search function. And in that whole philosophy, it's all about just what I just explained, finding that bridge between people and being able to listen with the intention to understand. And so that those seemingly polar opposite sides can find a connection, can find consent, can find agreements. And that's what we want to do in relationships, whether they are personal or political. So just imagine if all political rulers were trained in compassionate communication. I mean, wouldn't the world be different? So that's when we start with ourselves, we can start talking to ourselves this way. We can start talking to our children, to our families, to our friends, to our co-workers in a more mindful way. And I'm going to give you a couple of pointers in this time that we spend together so that you can start applying that. So number one is learning your own needs and knowing which needs are being met and which needs are not being met. Noticing which feelings come up when those needs are not being met, and which feelings are coming up when those needs are met. Now, think about it. We're all about intuitive manifestation here. And we know that if we are in a good state, in a positive state with positive feelings, our vibration is high. And then, because it's a universe that operates on universal laws, it's a matter of attraction. The law of attraction says that the moment we are vibrating at that high state, the universe has to deliver something that is of the same frequency. So if we are spending our days in worry and doubt and fear and all that, our vibration is pretty low. And we're going to keep attracting the same kind of experiences, the same kind of people that are in that same vibration. So when we are intuitively manifesting our very best life, our greatest heart's desires, our main job is to stay in a high vibration, a high flying disc, as often as we can, and to notice, when am I getting off that disc? When am I no longer feeling confident and happy and joyful and peaceful? And maybe when am I feeling what? I want you now, please, to write down those 3 emotions that you have when you're not feeling good, because they're usually always the same. What is it? Is it a little bit of fear, a little bit of guilt, a little bit of shame, a little bit of doubt, a little bit of worry? What is it? Frustration? You know your feelings. Write down that cocktail of 1 to 3 emotions that usually come together, because that's going to be a point of reference where we can actually do the transformational work. So become aware of those emotions, and you could put them in the chat so we know how unique this circle is, which we know, but it's fun to see what cocktails of emotion we have in there. What's the basic need that usually or currently is not being met, and what are the top 3 emotions that go with it? So Nicole, I'm going to ask you to share what's the top need that comes to mind, and what are the 3 emotions that you feel?
Yeah, I was pondering upon it, and it's not that it's not met, but when it's not met in my life, like the need for really having time for myself and my own space, and really preparing myself, especially for the day. And if this need is not met, I lose myself, and I'm unorganized and lose focus.
How do you feel?
I feel frustrated, and I feel also lack of self-love and self-worth. And I oftentimes also doubt myself in these moments.
There you go. Nice. Thank you. Thank you. I'm seeing here Valeria is, for instance, saying also the top need is me time. So when her me time and that need for exercise and her own space is not being met, she feels anxious, she feels doubt, and she feels guilt. And now just imagine talking to your partners, to your children like that, saying, so how do you feel when your need for this and this is not met? Or how are you feeling right now? And then they can start expressing those frequencies, those emotions, because once you know what you have, you know the status quo, you can ask yourself, how would I like to feel? What is my best outcome? Instead of feeling fearful and sad and guilty, how do I want to feel? And here's where Esther Hicks makes a big point of saying, don't expect yourself or don't force yourself to go from guilt and sadness, which is a very low vibration, immediately up into bliss and peace and joy, because that's an enormous jump. What you want to do in those moments when you're feeling those low frequency emotions is to say, okay, instead of feeling anxious, guilty, and sad, would it feel a little bit better, just a little bit better, to get angry about what I'm feeling right now? And yes, it would, because anger is a higher emotion. It'll feel better. And then the moment you're feeling angry about what's going right on, you have more energy in your body. And then you can ask yourself again, okay, so now that I'm angry, what is the next best emotion that I could go to? What's the next thought that I could think that would have me feeling even a little bit better, which could be then acceptance? So you want to make sure that you're taking those step-by-step moments rather than expecting yourself to do this quantum leap. Is it possible to do a quantum leap? Yes, but you're going to have to most likely use a lot of energy and dedication and focus to go from angry and guilty into bliss. A great way to do that, a very quick way to do that, and we also teach that in the Goddess Circle, is the Goddess Breath. The moment I notice I'm having a lot of strong emotions in me, if I can, I'll immediately lie on my mat and go breathe. And I know that when I take 3 rounds of the Goddess Breath, those emotions will have moved through my body, and the next emotion, the higher one, will come up. And at least I will feel calm. I will feel, okay, it is what it is. So today I would love to do 3 rounds of Goddess Breath once we've stirred up enough energy and we've talked about a couple of things. And then you're going to experience that in your own body, how you, with your own breath, coupled with your intention, can create a dramatic shift in your body. And the thing is, if you can do that once, you can do it again and again. And if you were to do it, say, once a day, after 90 days, it would be a new habit. You would automatically, once a day, clear your body of emotions, clear your field, your vortex of those lower vibrations, and be more on track with where you actually want to go. Does that sound like a plan? It really is that simple. Sachiko is saying her need for support and freedom and harmony are currently not being met. And when they're not being met, she feels angry, sad, and kind of overstimulated. So now you want to go ahead and say, how do you feel when that need is met? So when your need, for instance, Sachiko, for support, freedom, and harmony is met, how do you feel? And that'll also be specific. Maybe you'll feel free. Maybe you'll feel expansive. Maybe you'll feel peaceful. Maybe you'll feel energized. Maybe you'll feel compassionate. Maybe you'll feel loving. Maybe you'll feel strong. Maybe you'll feel confident. So now do the opposite side of what you just did and define those top 3 positive feelings that you feel when that need is met. Thank you. And then give me a little wave when you've got it, or Nicole, you then maybe share your feeling.
When my needs are met.
When your need for what?
When my need for me time is met, I feel fulfilled, full of trust and self-love and self-worth.
Right. And that's something as simple as me time. So that means the more often Nicole takes care of that need, the more often she's going to have those positive feelings. And the more often she has those positive feelings, the higher her vibration is going to be. And if she's now set clear intentions, if she's done her CSO meetings of voicing her heart's desires, writing them down, the universe knows it has to come to her, right? And that I think is the beauty of the work that we're doing, because we're combining the clarity of the intention with that focus, and then those positive feelings, which will automatically have us feeling good. And when we feel good, guess what? Our cells feel good, our body feels good, the energy is flowing in our body, and we are also healthy. So this is really important. And I think so much of the programming of the last thousands of years of patriarchy and whatever shizzle has been going on has just removed this little piece of information and has given us, together with religion and whatever, the idea that we're born guilty, we're sinners, and we have to work really hard to I don't know, work through all our karma so that maybe we can feel good. And it's the opposite. It's the absolute opposite. Okay, is that resonating? Everybody got this clearly, because something's happening right now in your conscious and subconscious mind as you realize the simple truth that really, yes, you are responsible for your own feelings. You are responsible for getting your needs met. Now, in this circle, we always have this little sentence where we say, with grace, ease, and joy. And in our CSO meetings, we have the little sentence stem you might want to write down: with grace and in perfect ways. Because here's the difference. We have devoted our work and life to the energy of our hearts, to love, to the highest good, to high frequencies. We want to be doing good work on this planet. And that's why it's important to say, yes, you're going to get your needs met, and you're going to get those needs met with grace and in perfect ways. Because if we all do that, there is no need to take something from somewhere else, to, I don't know, put someone else down, to make them, I don't know, smaller so that you can be bigger. You don't need to, because we can trust that in an infinite universe, which we are in, all needs can be met with grace and in perfect ways. And together with our skill of really tuning into compassionate communication and practicing that to ourselves and with others, we're literally raising the vibrations on this planet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in the replay, which you're all getting if you're signed up for the Open Circle or the membership, I will share with you the flowcharts. And there are 3 flowcharts. Flowchart number 1 is the basic human needs. And it's a little cheat sheet where you can then go check when you're not feeling good and say, hey, what need is it that's not getting met right now? And then once you find your need, you can say, oh, it's that. Then you're going to get another flowchart with the feelings that you will have if your need has not been met. So the unpleasant feelings. And then you can go check and say, how do I feel right now? And you'll love the variety of feelings that you can have, because so often our vocabulary towards feelings is so limited. Have you noticed that too? If you ask people, how do you feel? Oh, I'm sad, I'm mad, stressed. Tired? Good? But it's very flat. And I think what you'll find with these flowcharts that I'll share with you is that you can, if you want to, expand on your vocabulary, and you can play games of saying, okay, I'm going to choose my top 3 new words for positive emotions, and I'm just going to use them in my everyday language. And here again, it's all a matter of vibration. Our word is a magic sword. Really be so aware of the words that you use, not only in your head, but especially those that you say out loud. And make sure that your words are positive, that you are affirming what you want. And very often people will then say, yeah, but I've got to say like it is. It's shitty right now. And I said, yes, you can. And if you say that, you're affirming that shittiness instead of saying, yeah, I'm working through some interesting experiences, and I'm learning right now how strong I am. I'm experiencing the healing powers of my body, and I'm learning how to take better, even better, take care of myself. You know, you can speak truth and still be positive. You don't have to lie. That's not what we're asking you to. But we're asking you to really be more mindful with the words that you use and how much you're talking about what you want and what you don't want. Nicole, would you like to add something to that?
The information you put into your whole system, and every cell is listening very carefully. And there are so many beautiful stories of showing us that people can heal, people can change from a very difficult state into pure bliss and clarity in their lives. And I believe that we, through the work we are doing here, also with the CSO, writing every morning as if it was already so, is so beautiful, because we get the feedback in our daily life. And wherever we go, we might get the reflection. We meet someone we didn't expect to meet, and this person is telling you something that you were looking for, and you couldn't have planned that. And this is the magic about this. And I purely am grateful for all what we are doing here together, because we are creating it together.
Together. And that's a switch word you might want to write down right now. So the word together is one of the most powerful switch words you can use. And switch words date back into the 1800s, or even earlier than that. And they're magical words that have a certain frequency that give a prompt to your brain. And I'll give you a couple of nice ones to play with. The main one that you want to start out with is together, because it aligns everything. So it aligns you with the divine, and it aligns everything into the divine. So together. And you can say them out loud. You can say them inside of yourself. You can write them down, but it's a powerful word to use, and it's a very positive word. Together. Another one that you can play with is divine light shine. Divine light shine. That's one of my favorite ones to breathe with. Divine light shine. Divine light shine. And another one I'm going to give you is Elohim divine. Elohim divine. Elohim divine. Elohim divine is miracles. Okay, so if you're seeking to manifest miracles, Elohim divine is your switch word, couple word that you want to use. Okay, so talking about needs, talking about ways that we can start communicating our needs in a compassionate way. You're going to be getting those flowcharts with the positive emotions, the kind of negative emotions, and the needs, so you can start expressing yourself that way and find out more about yourself. What I now want to go into is the freeze, because the freeze is the reason why we often don't ask for what we need. Because if we know what we need, and some of you know what you need, the question is, why are you not asking for help? Why are you not communicating that need? And there's a very simple reason. The reason is that you're afraid of the no. And before you say, no, I'm not afraid of the no, but you won't even say that. We're all afraid of the no in a way, most likely if we're female, because no is that rejection. It's that possible abandonment. It's that in your face. And if you're afraid of a no, you're never going to ask unless you're, I don't know, about 99% sure that you'll get a yes. But here's the truth. The more no's you ask, the closer you get to your yes. And very often you're not even asking, although you'd get a yes. You'd get it anyway, but you're so scared of someone saying no to you, they're like, nah, I don't need it anyway. Doesn't that make sense? There's a lot of research on this. And there's a very powerful way to break that freeze, to break that programming. We won't be able to do the whole exercise here now, but you, if you're at home, could do it with yourself, and I'll show you with Nicole how it works, okay? It's best done with another sister, or you can do it with your kid, you can do it with your partner, of course, too, but the female on female energy is really powerful here because especially women have this programming of being submissive and not asking for things. So what happens when we are scared of a no is that we don't ask. And how we're going to change that is that we're going to ask, we're going to say please, please, or please, please. And the other one is just going to say no, 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 no. Okay. And you do that for 2 minutes. Nicole, we're going to do it for 1 minute. I'm going to be the one, I'm just going to ask, okay? I'm going to be in the submissive role, and you're going to be in the dominant role. Those are just two different energies, okay? So dominant and submissive are just like yin and yang, and it always needs one to have the other. And neither is more powerful than the other. It's just a different kind of focus. In submissive, the focus is inside. In the dominant state of power, the focus is on the outside. So I'm going to do the asking and you're going to be doing the knowing. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to say, please.
No, no,
Oh, but please.
no,
Please.
absolutely no,
Oh, but pretty please.
no,
Oh, but please, 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 please.
no, no,
Please.
no,
Please.
no,
Please.
no,
Please, 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 please.
no,
Please.
no.
Okay, that was a minute. You do that for 2 minutes and it'll start feeling a little awkward, but it takes it out of your nervous system. You're hearing no so often in a safe environment from a friend that you lose the fear of it. It kind of becomes fun. When we do this practice, sometimes in our retreats, I'm sure you remember, Nicole, right? There'll be hysterical giggles at some point in the room because it's kind of awkward, it's weird. And then you try all these different ways of saying please and all these different ways of saying no, but it heals something deep within your nervous system. Okay, and then we would switch. So then I would be the one saying no, let's do that for a minute. And Nicole is the one saying please.
Please,
No,
please,
nope,
oh, please,
no, 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 no,
please, 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 please,
no,
please,
no,
please,
no,
oh, please, come on, please,
no, 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 no,
oh, please,
no,
please,
no,
please,
no. Okay,
please.
you get that? So I really encourage you in the next couple of days, find someone and do this. You can also do it on the phone. You could get on Zoom and but you do 2 minutes, 2 full minutes, and then you switch. And notice what happens the days after that. And set yourself the challenge to every day make one ask, something for something that you don't really need, just for the heck of asking it. So that could be something like you go into the bakery and you see all the breads and the things, and you say, you know what? Could I get a bread that is baked in the infinity sign? Is that something you could do for me? Do I need that? No, but it's just fun to ask for something like that, just to get into the practice of asking. Okay, so every day you ask for one thing that you don't really need, just for the fun of asking it. It could be, I don't know, you go to the next hotel or whatever and say, hey, is there any chance that I could get a upgrade? Or could I get some fresh flowers on my room? Or you ask a random gentleman in I don't know, some supermarket, could you open the door for me, please? Oh, excuse me, could you hold this for me? Now, here's the thing, talking about men, men want to be asked. Men actually like doing things, but they yet very often don't know what we really want. So it's really powerful to practice asking and not be afraid of asking, because what's the worst case? Well, someone will say no. Well, then, okay, ask another one or do it yourself. You always have options, but get into the practice of asking, asking, asking once a day. Okay, so now when we do ask, when we ask a question, we ask for, we have a request. Think back again on those two states of power. We have the submissive and the dominant state of power. And now out of both states of power, we can ask. A dominant ask would be, Nicole, can you please go and get a glass of water for me? Very direct, focused on the outside. This is what I want, a dominant ask. Now, if I wanted to do a submissive ask to Nicole, I'd say, hey, sweetheart, you'd make me the happiest girl in this room if you brought me a glass of water. Is that something you could do for me? That's a submissive ask. So if you want to read more about this very interesting topic, I highly encourage you to read the book called Unbound. I will send it out in the recording too. It's written by, I always pronounce her name wrong, so please forgive me, Kasia Urbanek. And this amazing lady was at the same time while she was taking the training to become a Taoist nun, so high energy work, she was also one of the highest paid dominatrix of New York City. So who better to explain those two different power states, to explain why we often shut down when we feel threatened, why women always usually have the need to answer a question, and they don't even have to. That's part of the freeze. So part of the training is to, when you are asked an inappropriate question, is to not answer. Most of us will automatically give an answer, and I'll give a question that's inappropriate. I don't know, if someone goes ahead and says, a random stranger, say, how old are you? You might feel the instinctive urge to give an answer, where the most powerful thing you can do is ask another question. Like, why would you want to know? Or why is this important to you? Or who's asking? But our programming, the submissive part of us, will feel we have to deliver an answer. And that sometimes or often gets us in a lot of trouble, because you don't need to answer. Think back. The goddess does not explain herself, and you do not have to give an answer every single time someone asks a question. I've really had to work on that, and I still need to work on it, because the automatic response is, okay, I'll deliver. And now I'm catching myself more and more often to just ask another question. So we've been through that also in our previous goddess circles. Last year, we did a whole section on that. It's a very powerful exercise to do, is to notice and maybe even prepare a counter question that would work most ways if someone asks you an inappropriate question, like, who wants to know, or why is this important to you? But you can come up with really funny counter questions too. Okay. Any questions so far? Please do let me know. Eva's saying, may I do this in the mirror if I do not find anyone to try this with? Absolutely. I mean, that's at least something. And find a friend to practice it with. It's seriously just 4 minutes. But yes, if you have no one to practice it with, at least do it in the mirror and have fun with the nose and the pleases. And then while you're, I don't know, going for a walk or driving your car or doing something that doesn't require too much attention, maybe think about counter questions you could ask. When you're about to ask somebody for some favor, tune into them and tune into, and your intuition will tell you here, is a submissive ask the best here, or is a dominant ask here? And how you know the difference is by scanning or reading your counterpart. And that's where intuition helps us again. And that's where also is really helpful to listen to people to find out what is their primary channel of information. I'm throwing a lot at you, but you can always listen to the recording again. When you know how someone's operating system is, what is the way that they handle information best? Are they visual? Are they auditory? Are they kinesthetic? Are they auditory digital? Those are the main channels. When you know what channel they're vibing at, you can build rapport by matching their channel. So I'll give you an example. If someone is talking about their last vacation, and they'll say, oh my God, the blue sea was so bright. And every morning I sat down and I looked out and I could see that relaxation in my body really taking place. They're using the word see a lot. They're talking a lot about what they see. You can guess that their visual channel is pretty high. That means if you want to build rapport, if you want to build connection with that person, you will match their energy. And you will also use visual inputs. You will also talk about, yeah, well, you see, I see it this way. I could imagine that walking forwards or moving forward, we would see great results moving in this direction. If you're dealing with someone who says, you know what, I vacation again, I loved waking up, hearing the ocean's waves, and that peace had me really calm my mind. I loved having no phone, nothing was disturbing me, a very auditory person. You will use those same kind of words so they feel what? So they feel understood. If a visual person is talking to an auditory, they might talk, beside each other because they're not using the same words. The one's talking about what they're seeing, the other one's talking about what they're hearing. Then put a kinesthetic person in there, they're just about what they're feeling. And you'll have three people talking about the same thing, and you'll have three completely different stories. So if you haven't yet read my book, How to Use Your Intuition to Change Your Life, I encourage you to do this because I explain this in detail, and you get to do that test to find out what are your primary channels, because those channels will also give you some good hints on your needs. So if you're a very kinesthetic person, the way that you feel in your body is going to be very important to you. So if you know that some need is not being met, you could meet it at the kinesthetic level. You could do something with your body to meet that need. If you're a very visual person and some need is not getting met, you need new visual input to see something else. Maybe you need to watch a movie. Maybe you need to go travel to get new inspirations. You need to see something else, where the other one maybe just has to go for a massage. Is this making sense? Nicole, give me feedback. Yeah, we all on board?
And it's so cool. Use it as being playful with it, right? Try to find out things. It's not a like a one-way street. It's like really asking these questions, detecting yourself in situations with others, and do it playfully and have fun with it. And even if there are sometimes maybe strange situations coming out of it, it's just like learning a new way of language in a way, right?
Yes. And it makes it feel less personal in a good way. It'll help you deal with conflict better. It'll help you deal with disharmonic frequencies and energies better, especially if you're an empath or if you're a very sensitive person. It'll help you understand why you feel the way you feel and that it's not your fault and that you can do something about it. And that's what I'd love to do now. I'd love us, because we've stirred up a lot in the part, to now take everything that's bubbled up in all of our vortexes and transform it, transmutate it in our own bodies by doing some tapping. So if you're in for that, sit up nice and straight, or make sure if you're lying down that your spine is straight and your neck is straight. And we're going to start with the switch. We're going to use a fist and tap it into the open palm of the other hand. And then we're going to say, I love and accept and respect myself, even if I don't take what I need. And I suck at saying no. And I'm not good at meeting my desires or expressing them and my needs. It's okay. It's okay. And I love and accept and respect myself when I now take what I need. And my needs and desires are met and I can communicate them compassionately. And I love the no's, the yeses and the no's. It's all good to me because I'm a goddess and I believe in myself and I'm strong and I'm confident and I'm loving and I'm kind. And then breathe. Take a moment to notice the energy in your body. Cool. Now come underneath your left arm, it's going to be switched, kind of where your bra line would run if you're wearing a bra. And you tap this point and you say, the goddess takes what she needs. And I love and accept and respect myself, even when I doubt myself and I'm not sure if my needs are going to get met or if I'm even worthy to have those needs met. It's okay. And I now choose to get my needs met with grace and in perfect ways as I believe in myself. And I know I am worthy to get my needs met with grace and in perfect ways. And I love myself. The goddess takes what she needs, and so do I. Thumbs. We're activating the lung meridian. And we say the goddess takes what she needs. And I love and accept and respect myself with all my grief and all my sadness at the deepest level and from the very first time I felt this way. And I choose now to step into my power of joy because I know I deserve my highest good and I am ready now. I am ready to manifest my heart's desires joyfully with grace and in perfect ways now. Yes, 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 yes. Together, together, together. Divine light shine, divine light shine. Another breath. Notice my thumbs are tingling. I don't know about yours. Okay, and then we come underneath our collarbones and we tap our chest bone. And then again we say, the goddess takes what she needs. And I love and accept and respect myself with all my fears. At my deepest level, and from the very first time I felt scared, scared of the no's, scared of asking, scared of failure, scared of abandonment, scared of rejection, scared of pain, whatever. It's okay. Whew. And I now choose to step into my power of courage, the courage to ask what I need for, the courage to take care of my needs, to communicate my needs compassionately, the courage to listen and understand other people's needs, and the courage to be me, all of me, the goddess that I am. I'm ready for that now. Yes, I'm ready, I'm willing, and I'm able. And breathe. Good. Now we're going to come to our right side, to our liver. Okay, the liver is underneath your ribs on the right side. Can't miss it. Big organ. And now tap your liver and then say, the goddess takes what she needs. And I love and accept and respect myself with all my anger and rage even at my deepest level and from the very first time I felt angry. And I choose now to let this anger go. I forgive myself and I choose to be at peace. I'm at peace with myself. I'm at peace with my needs. I'm at peace with the goddess within. I'm at peace with everything around me. I am peace. I am peace. I am peace. I am peace. Together, 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 together. And breathe. Feel that shift. Okay, now we're going to do this funky move. We're going to connect the space around our hearts with the crown above our heads. Okay, and we're going to connect those two. And then as we do this move, imagine, for all those visual ones, imagine you're standing in this pyramid of light, all the rainbow colors, all the angels and masters and all the good guys around you. Okay, and as we do this move, we are cutting the cords, we're delinking, we're disconnecting from any timeline that has us connected with pain and suffering, that's connected to this weird program we might have had in the past about not taking what we need. So we're delinking, cutting the cord, and we're stepping back into the alignment with our highest self, the goddess within, and the ability to take what we need with grace and in perfect ways. Okay, so imagine you're there, imagine all those colors, hear the sounds of the angels singing, cheering you on, feel that feeling of freedom inside of you as you say, the goddess takes what she needs with grace and in perfect ways. And I claim my power back. I claim my freedom back from any timeline, any reality, any dimension, any programming that had me not asking for what I needed. It's done. And I give all that back that's not mine. I am free. I am free to take what I need with grace and in perfect ways, to communicate my needs compassionately, to listen to others, to understand. And I am free to be me. I am 100% aligned with my goddess self. I am strong, I am confident, I am compassionate, I am kind, I am wise, I am loving, I'm amazing. Breathe. Put your hand on your heart. Take just a couple of seconds to tune in and just notice the difference. What feels different now? Can you find that sense of relief? Can you find some gratitude maybe? And then expand on that positive feeling. Can you expand out into a sense of happiness or joy even? Could you expand out into a feeling of love for yourself, honoring how far you've come, how much you've learned, how many incredible experiences you've been through? And can you now project those positive emotions out into the future, trusting and knowing that all is well, all is always working out for you? And any adverse situations or experiences work as blessings for you, as you are divinely guided by your intuition, by your highest self, by light. And you are loving and you're loved and you're lovable. Oh, can you acknowledge that in yourself? Then allow your unconscious mind to bring you back into the here and now only as quickly as you can reevaluate all the experiences between then and now and let go of the emotions and come back into that sense of presence and peace and contentment, knowing that you are a goddess and you take what you need with grace and in perfect ways. And then let me know when you're back. And there's an interesting comment from Lakshmi in the chat, if you'd like to see that, and I'll read you the end out because I think that's the conclusion is, I am free and you are free and you're not an object. This is the new paradigm. The goddess gifts me with everything I need. Yes, that is the new paradigm. Thank you, Monica. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Nicole, give us some feedback. What are you noticing?
Interesting, because what it's Kea also wrote, I feel completely free. It's like, it's such a calmness. And I mean, we have done that so many times, but it is never enough. It is always like one layer that you are resolving. And there are so many beautiful ways of, when you are in a situation, to really calm yourself down and to make yourself a little bit more balanced and neutral, to look at the situation. And that's a beautiful way of doing it. And the cool thing is that we all have the recording afterwards, and you can do it over and over and over again. And the tapping is so cool because you are connecting your body and your emotions and your breathing, and you're really creating so much confusion for your whole system that you are stepping into that new, and that is beautiful.
Thank you. Eva's just saying, I feel so grateful, so happy, so at peace. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I promised you some breath work. We have 3 more minutes. So let's now do the goddess breath to just finalize all of this and integrate it into every single cell and space between our cells so that we are 100% aligned with this law of the goddess. The goddess takes what she needs with grace and in perfect ways. So how we're going to do that is we're going to take 30 breaths in and out through the nose if possible. If your nose is stuffed up, use your mouth, but preferably through your nose, in and out. You focus on the in-breath. The exhale is just relaxed. We do 30 breaths, kind of like this. After the 30th breath, I'll guide you, we breathe all the air out and hold the breath out. Now, while you're holding your breath out, great time to repeat a mantra, maybe together, 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 or thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay? We hold the breath out as long as possible. Will be different for everyone. I won't take it too long. Then we're going to take one big breath in and hold again. So your whole body is full of oxygen. We're going to hold that for like 15 to 20 seconds. Exhale, and that's round 1. We'll see how far we get. I should think 1 round. You'll feel amazing afterwards. You're pumping your whole body full of oxygen, and it's a great way to integrate what we've just been doing. So here we go. 30 breaths in and out. Nice, deep, full breaths. Here we go. Breathe all the air out and hold. Take a nice, deep, full breath in, hold. Exhale and release. Notice the peace. Somebody might feel a little lightheaded, totally normal. Do this. I start my day like this. I end my day like this. Usually have a lunch break with it too. 3 rounds is my minimum. Takes around 5 minutes. It's life-changing. I would love you to practice the goddess breath. I am so grateful to my beautiful sister goddess and co-host Nicole and every single sister on this call. Thank you, thank you, thank you for making time in your very busy day today to join us here. Thank you for bringing your sisters in. If you would like to meet with us more often, we meet twice a month. We'd love to have you on. The membership for a year is really doable. And attention, we're meeting again next week, right, ladies? We're meeting again next week because it's our last call before Christmas or the Festival of Lights. Normally we meet every 2 weeks. So we will send out the link to the Golden Goddess Circle membership with this recording, and then you can make your informed choice if you'd like to be our girlfriend and do more of this beautiful work together. And I want to go into one question that I got before the circle from a member, and that is, Joy, what should I do? I always fall asleep in meditations. What can I do to stay more present? I always kind of come back when it's all over. Number 1, no, that's totally okay. Sometimes it's just a lack of practice because we're not used to that meditational state and our body thinks, oh, it's sleepy time again. Reason number 2 could be you're just tired. Maybe your body's exhausted and you needed that sleep. Trust and know that your unconscious mind is always listening and you will still get benefits from a meditation even if you fall asleep. And number 3, my tip is sit up. If you're lying down and you're falling asleep the whole time, it's because your body connects lying down with sleeping. So make sure that you're sitting up, get a nice meditation cushion, and practice sitting in silence. And if you practice that every day for just 10 minutes, you will notice that your meditational practice will expand. You'll be able to stay awake and stay more present in the here and now in general. Any closing words from you, my darling?
Thank you very much for this special session and for everyone who joined us today and who hasn't been part yet. And I would love to invite you, everyone, for next week because we have a special guest, Anna Dimitrievich, and she is a Greenwich birth keeper, and she's focused on natural birthing, and she's also an expert on sex education, and she's doing a beautiful women work, and she's taking us through a very nice process, meeting our ancestral mothers and the great mother as well. She's doing beautiful work connected to the bees as well. So
I'm very much.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Sisters, we love you. We hug you. Be well. Go shine your light bright. Take what you need with grace and imperfect ways. And we look forward to seeing you again next week. Mwah.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.